Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel in Learn with Handri. So we are continuing our series about the rectangles, right? So we already implement and getting to know the idea how to make the perfect rectangles. Now we are moving forward to the second challenge, second rectangles. The second rectangles, we call it as the outline rectangles, okay? Okay, it's the outline rectangles. So what is the idea behind the outline rectangles? So just saying you have, for examples, you have 3 multiplied by 3 rectangles. So the outline rectangle is supposed to have something like this. It's only the border of the rectangles, right? Okay. Okay. Yeah, something like that. And you have your row and your columns. Okay. So just saying if you have, the first things that you need to see in here, you need to see the patterns. All right, you need to see the patterns when the X will be printed. Okay, when the X will be printed. Okay, so this is your row and this is your columns. Okay, so when X is printed, could you guess? It's supposed to be in the border. Yeah, that's correct. It's supposed to be in the border, but how do you know that the border it is in this index? The easy way to do that is that, so you could see here, so let me draw with the red colors. So let's just focus on this part first. Okay, you see the very first row is always be printed, right? The very first row is always printed by X. Okay, so it means that here it means that when your row, yeah, equals to 0, it will print X. Okay, it doesn't matter on which columns, but every time your row is equals to 0, it will print X, right? You got the idea? Now let's do the analysis of these rectangles again, the outline rectangles. So let's pick this one. Okay, so what is the idea behind this one? So it means that every time, yeah, your row, okay, it doesn't matter whether your counter you call it row as I or column as J, it doesn't matter. But when your row equals to your row numbers, yeah, I call it row numbers, yeah, row n, then you need to print X because of you starting um, from array 0. Okay, so it means that you need to have a row equals to row n minus 1. Yeah, because you're starting index starting from 0. But if you start your index starting from 1, so row equals to row n. Okay, so you need to print X. Okay, it's pretty straightforward, right? So let's take a look again. So that's your row. Now you have like X between this row, right? But the border only printed on the board. I mean, you see here. Let's take a look. Let me put it as green colors. Okay, these green colors. So what could you assume from this pattern? It means that the x will be printed, yeah, whenever your columns equals to 0, you will print x, right? And whenever your columns equals to columns and minus 1, then it will be printed x, right? You got the idea? Okay, so let's maybe try to have like a bigger rectangle so you are getting to know better. Okay, so let's make it as the 5 multiplied by 5. Oops, yeah, I think that's correct. Okay, right, so let me draw a gap here. Okay, so you see here, 0, 3, 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's the same. Okay, you see this one? Okay, whenever your row equals to 0, you will print x. Okay, and whenever your your row n is equals to 5, and your column n equal to 5 as well. Okay, so let's see here. Whenever your row, yeah, is equals to row n minus 1, so you will print x. Okay, so when you iterate through your row and your row equals to row n minus 1, it will print x. Okay, it's still correct, right? And let's see here. Okay, so let's see here. So whenever your columns equals to 0, you will print x. Yeah, still correct, right? It doesn't matter whether your I equals to 0, equals to 1, equals to 2, and so on, but it matter when only your columns equal to 0, it will print. Okay, and last one, whenever your current index columns equals to columns n minus 1, you will print x. Okay, so this is your selections, yeah, selection condition. So you need to consider this is number 1, this is number 2, this is number 3, and this is number 4. Okay, so you will need to have these kinds of conditions, these 4 conditions, whenever you try to iterate through your 2-dimensional array to create the outline rectangles. Yeah, these outline rectangles. I hope you are getting better to know how to create these outline rectangles by analyzing the pattern that occurs in the outline rectangles. Okay, and then until then, and see you in the next video.